Okay, here we go. Monday makeup stream on Friday. Cosmin, what's going on, Jim? Good to see you. Obviously going to take a few minutes for people to roll in here on a little surprise pop-up stream. Cosmin, we're in the same group, my friend. We're in the same group. Linda, hello. Ginger, welcome back to Fots Tots. Oh, I forgot about that one. All right. So today is just going to be a general Q&A. Jamie, what's going on? Spaghetti Nona. Anyways, sorry, I got distracted by my dogs. So yeah, if you got questions, we got answers. If I don't know the answer, I will find an answer for you. No question is too simple. Don't be afraid to ask. That's what we're here for. And probably go for about an hour and a half. We'll see how it goes. JT says, finally able to make it and not be a part of the replay crew. Yeah, I always like these midday, late week streams. I need to start doing them more. And once things settle down a bit, it'll definitely... Of course, I feel like I've been saying that forever, but eventually. Alec, what's going on? Good to see you. I was just thinking about you the other day. I feel like I haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you're still alive. Hopefully well. Hopefully well. Let me get my chat over here. I always wonder, does it bother y'all that I hardly ever look at the camera? Like, I'm looking at my computer screen, looking at chat, looking at this computer screen, looking at my dogs, but rarely do I ever look into the camera. I don't know. Is it a problem? Doesn't bother me when I watch other people do it, but I'm always curious. Why now? I gotta leave in a few minutes. Well, sorry about that. I don't know what to tell you. Why now? I gotta leave in a few minutes. Well, I don't know. How can I make my own of those beautiful blue severum? Well, you would have to buy some and then spawn them. How can I make those beautiful blue severum? Thankfully, severum are very easy to spawn. So really, you just got to get yourself a male-female pair, and you're good to go. They'll pretty much spawn in anything. We rarely look at the screen too. It's almost a radio show. I mean, I feel that. I mean, I got a face for radio, so I know what that's like. Felicia Heater. Wait, is that different? Did you change your name there? That looks different. Heater? Says 29 gallon, just got a black moor. Could I do 2 or should I just stick with 1? Lots of pothos to help with nitrates, but I would prefer not to do more than 1 water change a week. I don't know. I would stick with 1 if it was me. I know it's hard to stay with just 1, but if it was me, I would try my hardest to stick with just 1 fish. Legion Aquatics says, Bob, I rewatched the Ocean Aquarium video Corey's made, and now I need a big jungle with tons of nano fish. Are scarlet baddis shrimp safe? Yes and no. Yes and no. So, scarlet baddis, they're definitely carnivores. They're definitely hunters. But in a big enough tank with enough plants, enough moss, and a decent size, like they're not going to eat a full-grown cherry shrimp, right? But they will eat baby cherry shrimp. So as long as you have a place to hide, sure, they'll pick off a couple here and there. But they should easily be able to outproduce what the scarlet baddis will eat. My next video that's coming out is about some nano fish, so maybe I'll add scarlet baddis. There's also there's a black tiger baddis, which is my favorite. Maybe I'll add those to the list. Thanks, nope, that's always been my name. Really? I don't know. Maybe I'm losing it. Oh, new kitty. All right. How many 60 breeders have you bought on sale? I have bought 0. I need 20s. 20 long and 20 talls is what I'm after. Oh, excuse me. And I've still... Haven't gotten any of them. Oh, I'm on top chat. Let's change that. I haven't bought any yet. No warning, a notification would have helped. It's cool. I'll take what I can get. Yeah, I mean, well, we've only been going for like 5 minutes, so I did post in my Facebook group. I feel like it would have been a little redundant to post in my YouTube community tab because they generally don't send out notifications for those. So I just posted in the Facebook group. Maybe I should have tweeted it, but I only have like 30 tweeters that follow me, so probably wouldn't have done much help either. Pedro says not safe for shrimps. So the only reason I say is because I've done it. I've kept not scarlet baddest, but I've kept black tiger dario with shrimp, and I didn't have any issues whatsoever. But like I said, with enough room, right? So if you throw like shrimp and baddest in like just a couple gallons, or even like a 5 gallon, it's probably not going to go so well. But if you have like a pair, or like maybe like a group of 6 and like a 20 long with lots of like I said, lots of plants, it's not gonna be an issue. I did it in a 10-gallon tank, and my shrimp were able to outproduce what was eaten by the baddest. And I think I started with 6 black tiger darios, and by the time it was all said and done, I think I ended up with 4. How long is the Petco sale for? I was just there, and she said till the end of the month. She didn't know for sure, but she said they normally go for a whole month. So, but even then, they just had the dollar, or I guess the half off sale in January. So I don't know if they're going bi-monthly now or what. But any advice on raising bristlenose babies? It's super easy. Don't overthink it. Green beans, cucumber. My advice would be to always have something in there that they can rasp on. Something they can just gnaw on all day long, because they're going to need a lot of food at that age. Rapashi would be a good one. But any type of vegetable you can throw in there. Rapashi. Not so much wafers at the young age. And I only say that because wafers aren't really that nutritious. Most of them. Most of them are just full of fillers. Like, let's be honest. Can't wait for my 60 breeder for $91. It's a fun size. I just don't know where I would put it in my fish room. Like, it would be cool to have a rack of like three high. I don't know that I have room for something like that. Randy, what's going on? Good to see you. It's been years since I've kept fish. I've been watching several of you guys with your beautiful tanks. I want a plant-heavy tank. What are your suggestions on plants and fish for a beginner? I almost did the stream as beginner plants, but I did one recently. I say recently, it was probably like 2 years ago. But Anubias will be your friend. Water Sprite is a good one. There's so many. Where do we start? Cryptocorn, Wendedii. Actually, almost all crypts are super easy. Any Anubias, any crypt, basically, that you can get your hands on. Jungle Val can be easy for some people. My advice would be, test your water and then find plants that also thrive in that type of water. I think this is somewhere where a lot of people go wrong with plants, right? Like we all should be researching fish before we buy them. We look up what kind of water they like, temperature, things like that. But for some reason, a lot of people, me included when I first started, didn't do that with plants. I was like, oh, it's a plant. It wants water. Like, it's in water. It should do fine. But I would say, like, plants are even more picky than fish when it comes to water parameters. Like, most fish can adapt to most any water parameters. As long as, it's more important that your water parameters are stable for fish. With plants, there's really plants that won't grow in soft water. There's plants that won't grow in hard water. So just like fish, you should definitely research plants as well. Is there a way to grow an elephant ear in an aquarium? That I don't know. Subswasser tang is really hard to kill. I agree, but it's also really annoying in my opinion. Not one of my favorite plants. But Bacopa is really easy. which is a stem plant. You know, a lot of the Rotalas are just super easy plants to grow. Lugwidia is pretty easy to grow. I think when people, a lot of people don't mention like Rotala and Lugwidia as easy plants because they think they're like these high-tech plants because we see them in the high-tech aquascapes, right? But when they're using in those high-tech tanks because they turn orange and red and purple and all these different colors. However, if you just put them in a regular aquarium, they'll still grow. They'll just be green. They won't have all the colors. So still an easy plant. It just won't have all those crazy colors, like I said. If you can keep his head underwater, yeah. I find Kabamba to be an easy beginner plant. It was my first plant, and I have 4 tanks now, and it's from all the one bunch I bought a year ago. Yeah, Kabamba is definitely an easy one, too. UPS, you're living the dream. Hello, says, thanks for answering so many questions and giving out great advice. Love the hat, by the way. Yeah, me too. Me too. Thanks for the $20 super chat. Hornwort, that's definitely an easy one as well. I don't know. Anubias is always one of my go-to. It's not a fast-growing plant by any means, but it's a really hard plant to kill. I wouldn't call it bulletproof. If there wasn't such a thing as Anubias rot, I would pretty much call it bulletproof. But if you buy an Anubias and it just comes in bad, unfortunately, it's just gonna die. If it comes in with rot, it's just gonna die. And Nomad, thank you for the $2 super chat. I appreciate it. If you get Anubias, it's a rhizome plant, so you don't bury the rhizome. And the rhizome is just that thick stem where all the leaves are going to be growing out of. If you bury the rhizome, it'll start to rot, and it's really hard for it to recover from that. Alex says Java Fern always works for me. I'm always hesitant to say Java Fern because it does not do that well in really soft water. And I've been in really soft water for basically my entire life. I just now have where I just moved, I now have hard water. So it's been different. April says, Pogostemon stellatus octopus has been such an easy, nice-looking plant for me. And this is a very good segue because I just got, I was a couple minutes late because I just got this package in the mail. And a little backstory about this package. I need something to open it. So I bought some Pogostemon stellatus octopus from the co-op. And it came yesterday. And the plant was damaged. And I messaged the co-op and I was like, hey, this plant was broken. And I already should have a replacement in this box. That's how sweet their customer service is. I literally got a replacement the next day. Oh, and apparently I get a sticker. I don't know. I thought they were done doing stickers, but that might be back. Now, this is a pretty big box for one plant, so I'm not really sure what's going on here, but I did learn something from talking to customer service. Is they have these giant heat packs, right? I've never seen a heat pack this size, but apparently normal heat packs are half this size, right? So when you spread it out like this, the reagent that heats it up is spread out as well. So it doesn't get blazing hot. It just gets a nice warm, I'm guessing this is probably 80 degrees, and then it's evenly spread out and it just dissipates the heat a lot better. So I was like, oh, I might have to look into getting some of these because I've definitely had situations where those regular size heat packs get really hot and kind of maybe a little too hot for fish. But the thing I love about this stuff is now I get free packing paper for when I ship out my fish. And there's a lot of it in here. Oh, I forgot. I did get one of these. I had one of these go bad. I've had one of these running outside for 3 years straight, and it finally went bad. And it was actually just this piece that went bad. Not even the pump, just this piece. So I messaged customer service and I was like, can I buy just this? And they're like, no, we'll just send you a new one if yours went bad. And I was like, all right. Now, To be fair, I didn't tell him it was 3 years old. I probably should have, but, you know, whatever. All right, so here's my plant, my replacement plant. It already looks better packaged than it did yesterday. If I order and I don't get a sticker, I'm blaming Bob. Nathan, you can have mine. I'm not much of a sticker person. So here is Pogostemum stellatus octopus right here. Looking pretty good. I reuse when I ship, because I ship plants and fish myself. I reuse all of this stuff. So I love that the co-op does all this stuff because I get free shipping supplies. And here is my nice, healthy Pogostemum stellatus octopus. We'll set that right there for now. So, all right, wonderful surprise. Wonderful. That package, it's to a giveaway? No. But I did, so I bought this, right? I wanted to try this, so I bought one of these. I didn't get it for free. You know, he didn't give it to me. I bought it. The single outlet air pump. I'm really excited to try this. I've got a few things to play with this weekend. And I have a feeling this is going to be my new favorite air pump because it has built-in battery backup that lasts a really long time, supposedly. We'll test it out. Well, I will. Power battery runtime in power save mode is 16 hours, which I rarely have a power outage that lasts longer than a day. I didn't actually have one that lasted 3 days, but that's pretty rare, And then the other thing I got was, so I have a 20-gallon planted aquarium that I don't have enough water flow, so it gets like all these dead spots, and we get dead spots. You get algae, you get mulm buildup, and so I'm never one to just use a power head. You know, it's easy just to throw in a small power head and get some water circulation going. But I'm of the opinion, like, if I'm going to get a power head, why not just throw on a hang-on back filter? So I got this little nano Phoenix hang-on back filter. Again, I bought it. And I'm going to throw this on the, it says for up to 7.5 gallons, right? But I'm putting it on my 20 long because I'm only using it for filter or for circulation. So I'm going to try it, see how it works. And yeah, I mean, I'd much rather have like a small hang-on back circulating my water, collecting a little bit of debris, than just a power head that's just, yeah, it gives me circulation, but it also is just pushing all the mulm around. So Sparrow's Fish needs to know what to do with the new babies. What am I missing here? Legion Aquatics says Java Fern is easy if you give it ferts and you still wait. And if you don't, it still doesn't die. It just stops growing. There you go. Pedro says, I'm from Portugal. Sorry about my English errors. No problemo. This is worldwide. Prestige worldwide. All languages accepted. Maybe not understood, but at least accepted. Electric Blue Cars Fry just hatched. No separate tank. Should we get breeder mesh box until new tank cycles to grow out? And yes, it was a surprise. So there's a few things you could do. If you have access to a breeder mesh box, absolutely. That way, you know, it stays in the tank. They're already, you know, accustomed to that water. You could always just, I was going to say you could throw them in a 5-gallon bucket, but if you're waiting for a tank to cycle, probably the best bet is just the mesh bag. Mesh bag. I got thinking of mesh bag because of the plant. But the mesh breeder box. There's also hang-on breeder boxes. But the mesh one that you just suction cup to the inside of the aquarium is probably just fine. Now, I don't know what other fish you have in there. If you have other fish that's going to eat them, then yeah, absolutely. But the parents should be able to raise up their fry on their own if there's nothing else in there that'll eat them. All right, y'all, my lunch is over. I have to get back to delivering. I'll be lurking while working. Nathan says, agreed on Logwidia. I have a complete kit from PetSmart, and it grows great. It gets some red if it'll let you reach the top. Yeah, so to go back on when I was talking about Rotala and Laguidia, you don't need highlight, you don't need CO2 to make it turn colors, but once it grows to the top and it's right under the light, then that light will be bright enough usually so you might get some nice reds out of it, some maroon, but it'll just be on the top part of the plant, so it'll go green and then slowly turn to like a red, pinkish maroon color, which is kind of nice. Friday night, winding down, and I get the Steenfott experience live. Where are you where it's night? Man, you must be across the pond, huh? Pedro says, I only have problems when I breed rams. They always eat the babies. Interesting. I'm trying to think. I've only done Bolivian rams, and it did take them like 3 spawns before they figured out they weren't supposed to eat their own babies. But for my 40-gallon breeder jungle tank, I want to set it up. All these fish. Wait, I want to set it up. Will all these fish most likely be shrimp safe if the tank is super densely? Rock Achilles, yes. CPDs, yes. Pygmy cories, yes. Green neons. Green neons will be your only issue. But again, it's more of a non-issue than an issue. Like, I would be perfectly okay. I mean, I keep shrimp with rainbow fish, which are, 10 times the size of green neons. The doc is in the house. Amazon Research Center for Ornamental Fishes. What's going on, buddy? Good to see you. My female electric blue Acara was a great parent. Yeah, sometimes it just takes cichlids a couple spawns to figure out that they're not supposed to eat their own kids. Is that a super white in your thumbnail? It is just a regular old butterfly pleco. A very inexpensive but great looking pleco, in my opinion. It's an L168. There's 2 butterfly plecos that I know of. This is the 168. Co-op doesn't have any Anubias. They have Anubias petite, but when I looked, because I was going to buy some to go along with my Pogo here, but they were out of stock. So technically, I guess they don't have it. Speaking of which, I'm going to put this plant back in the bag so it doesn't dry out. I could probably toss it in my aquarium from here, but... that's what these nice, moist bags are for. All right. I started with 185, but I have 74 left packages. All right. Leo says, I'm mad at you, Bob. All right. Okay. Join the club. That's some good water. Bare Bottoms, Bob Vance, what's going on, buddy? How long would you leave a Serpa Tetra in a bucket with moss in a container before you pull adults and raise fry? So are you like egg scattering them in a bucket? Is that what's going on? I'd probably leave them in there for like 3 days. It really depends. Like, if you don't have anything to save the eggs, like an egg catcher or anything, I'd probably pull them out like maybe after a day. I mean, I don't know how many eggs you're looking for. But if you have like an egg catcher at the bottom to where they can't eat the eggs, then I would let them go for like a week. Are there any blue fish besides green neons? I mean, small, like true nano fish. Yes, the neon blue rasbora. Neon blue rasbora. They can be a little bit harder to source, and they're a little bit more sensitive than neon green rasboras. But I believe the scientific name is axelrodi. I may be wrong, but just search blue neon rasboras. Candy, you lied to me. I don't think Candy's here, is she? No. I don't know who you're talking to. She's not here. My plants are going to get in trouble. Candy, you lied to me about plants. You're going to get in trouble. Young man. Candy's not a man. What are you talking about? Candy's a girl. Getting me through the rest of my workday. All right. No problem with the Pissogrammas and Acaras. Parents staying with the babies. No problem. Huh. I'm telling... Oh, you're telling Candy you lied to me. I didn't lie to you. They have Anubias, just not in stock. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. You know, you got to buy them when they're in stock. Do they have a reminder? I don't know if they have that option. Let me look. Besides, I'm not employed by the co-op. I have nothing to do with the co-op. So that's like me giving you, like, go buy this from Tractor Supply. I don't even know. Like, let's see. Here, Anubias Barteri. Let's see. Sold out. Okay. Do we have email? Yeah, just click the notify button. You can even get a text message if you want. I'm sure it's just a matter of days before they're back in stock. I hear Anubias is in short supply all over. Plants in general are becoming really hard to source. So many issues in the supply chain right now. Yeah, the price of Anubias has skyrocketed. And, you know, there's places out there selling Anubias for like almost $20, which is crazy. But when I see the wholesale prices on them have just tripled for me. And I don't even get like the big, huge. Oh, I just got a wholesale list right here. This is what I wait for every Friday, the new wholesale list. I'm going to look up. I just got an email to me. Oh, what's on sale? Gold Killies are on sale. Gold Tetras, Frontosa. Brilliant Rasboras. All right, let me go down to Anubias. If they even have any. Oh, wait. I see Corrydoras. I got to stop. Holy smokes. Adolphoi Corys have like tripled in price. That's awesome. I can get Adolphoi, Agassizii, Albino, Skunk, Bicolor Panda. I have no idea what that is. Isn't it? Is it somehow different than a panda? That's weird. Brochisplendens, Aenis, Habrosis, Julii, Melanistis, Melani, Mate, Panda, Rebutii, and Sturbii. All right, moving on. Back to Anubias. Java Fern, Cryptocorn, Sagittarius, Sword Plants. Did I miss it? Yeah. They have 2 species of Anubias, and the prices now are quadruple what they were a mere 6 months ago. That is insane. Makeup stream. Moss balls were like $5 now at my LFS in Canada. Most plants cost about $13 to $14 per pot. Yep. Robert Johnson says, wait, I'm late. Why we here? New stream time or just wing it? It's because I missed Monday. I had a surprise dentist appointment on Monday, which is actually the oddly enough. I streamed for like 3 years with never missing a Monday. And then I missed a Monday because of a dentist appointment. And now here I am, full circle, missing another one because of a dentist appointment. Did you see the lovely picture I drew of you for when we went to the dentist? Yes, and I tried to make it my Facebook profile picture, but it didn't fit. It didn't fit in the little 400 by 400 pixel template. I appreciate the drawing. It's very sentimental and it meant a lot to me. Moss ball, it's an algae. Be careful. I believe technically it's bacteria. Bacteria? That's stupid. That's not what I wanted to say. I was going to say the name of it. It's, isn't it like cyanobac? No. I don't remember. Wait, let me look. I think I actually have it. Let's see. Moss balls are known as Maramo balls. These unique plants are not actually moss, but a type of filamentous green algae that forms, yeah, so not cyano, but the filamentous. That's what I was trying to say. That forms into a ball-like shape. Mothballs are usually found in colder water of northern Europe and Japan. That's weird. They grow in colonies and are often formed into round shapes due to the gentle currents in their natural habitats. The balls can range from a few centimeters to over 20 centimeters in diameter. In freshwater tanks, mothballs are prized for their unique appearance and texture. They are soft and velvety to the touch. Okay, I'm done with that. Curtis Schindler with the $1 super chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Slow Smile. I love my habrosis. Hey, Bob. I just got 3 spotted Congo puffers for the mascot tank. A goal is an island-themed aquarium with pygmy cories, CPDs. Tank size 48 by 36. Oh, like a little, almost a cube tank, but not quite a cube. That's pretty awesome. I love square tanks for those puffer fish. I don't know why, I just do. Bob Van says, hey, look, it's Candylicious. Now she's here. Hey, you are live on my day off. Cladophora algae. Yes, Cladophora algae. Hey, I didn't write this article, all right? I didn't write this. This article says filamentous, so I went with it. This is why you should never just trust everything on the internet. I mean, normally you can. Normally you can. How big are your mothballs? It depends on the temperature of the water. In colder water, they're way smaller. In warmer water, they just get in the way. I have a tank full of mothballs. Started as 2, then a turtle got them. Nice. Candy Bob lied to me about plants being in stock. I never said Anubias was in stock. I don't know what you're talking about, buddy. I said they had Anubias, like they have it, like it's available to buy when they have it, like it's on their website. It's just sold out. Don't make Candy work on her day off, all right? Don't do it. Someone's spamming again. Thomas says, I've noticed that any tank I put a moss ball in, I get overrun with algae. That's because that Cladophora algae, like I'll never do moss balls because I hate Cladophora algae. Like little filaments can just break off and they can get into your filter and then they can just grow and clog up your filter. It's something it's just one of those things that's really impossible to get rid of if you ever get it. Like, it's cool while you have it, but then in a couple years when you're tired of it, hey, and you want to get rid of it, it's like you can never get rid of it. It's like duckweed. I don't know. Bob, I need a recommendation. Hubby was talking about the electric blue Jack Dempsey we used to have. Wants a cichlid with a similar personality for a 15-inch cube. Why not like rams? You could do like a pair of rams in there, like electric blue rams, you know, smaller. Gold rams, gold face blue electric rams, black rams. There's so many rams. I don't know that I would do Bolivian rams. They get a bit bigger. But any of the German blue rams would be a good option. I had a duckweed problem. Why can't I keep duckweed? Too much flow. I mean, people say like duckweed hates flow, but I've never got. They're like, lower the water so the filter splashes back into the water. That's never worked for me. Like, it just never goes away. Never. Leslie says, I hate moss balls because they always got stuck in my python when I did a gravel vac. Yeah, they're also like dust magnets. Like, obviously there's no dust in our aquarium, but mulm magnets. I don't know. The Slow Mile says, Hastus, probably Hastatus, Habrosis, and Pygmy are very small. What's the next size, Corey? You're probably going to get into Aspidoras at that size. The 6-ray or 6-line Aspidoras, which is now a Corydoras, Puto something. Aspidoris. No. How about I just look up 6-line Cory? Aspidoris Puco, not going to say this word. I'll show you here. This guy right here, so it says Aspidoris, but these got reclassified in October of last year to Corydoras, along with, I believe, like 15 other species of Aspidoris. Ish, about a dozen species, but you can see, like, that's a full-grown adult in that little picture. Can I blow that up? Whoa, I don't know what that is, but apparently, oh, there we go. This fish is barely over an inch, if over an inch. Highly recommend these if you can find them. They're super active, along with most of the Aspidoris, but yeah, I mean, this is probably the size. This might be smaller than a full-grown Habrosus, now that I think of it. I've seen some pretty chunky Habrosus. So, yeah, a lot of these Aspidoris are getting reclassified into Corydoras, and I think there was 32 and 17 got reclassified. I don't remember, but there's only like 15 species left of Aspidoris, and they're probably going to get reclassified as well. At least a lot of them. There'll still be a couple. There's something in the skeletal structure that makes them different than Corydoras, if I remember right. So they got to go through them all. But none of that happens overnight. And then, you know, in 5 years, they might find something new and then reclassify them as something else. Allegiant says, I've had duckweed twice and it never grew because my sponge filter kept it wet and the other plants took all the nutrients from it. I've never had that happen to me either. All you people that don't have duckweed or can kill it off are luckier than I am, or more skilled than I am, maybe. 60 breeder with Rasboras, Hillstream Loaches, and Corydoras grantii, which is a skunk cory, if you don't know. There's two skunk cories. There's grantii, or grantii, and Arcuatus. I was set on Steenfott gobies too, but now you guys have me thinking about Pandagaras. Is either more active and more fun to watch. Oh, man. So I would say that Pandagaras are probably more active than almost all gobies, but gobies are also really fun to watch. Like, I don't know that I could say that one is more fun to watch than the other. I would actually think that gobies, even though they're less active, are probably more fun to watch just because they're just bonkers. They have this, like, spastic personality, and it's funny to watch them. Like, they don't really perch. There's not a lot of fish that perch, but they just kind of, like, they'll just sit on a rock and hang out. And it's hard to describe, but you're not going to go wrong either way. Looks like your order was delivered at 12/7. Let me know how the pogo looks, please. I did a live unboxing earlier on the stream because it did arrive right before I started. And yeah, it looks good. Does anyone have experience with Leporanus? Yes, Clint. So just know that they are fin nippers. They can be pretty aggressive if they want to be. They're not the most peaceful fish out there, and they get pretty large. This is Alex. Great idea. Oh, did I miss something? How about a pair of Apistos for a 15-inch cube? Borellii, Cockatoo, Trifasciata, McMasterii. Yeah, that would be good too. Definitely can't go wrong. I'm going to be breaking down one of my 125-gallon tanks, and there's some... When I bought them, they weren't described yet. Now they're being called pineapple Apistos, I think. Right, Candy? I know Candy has the same. We both bought some in Fishtoberfest like 3 years ago, the very first one. And they were being sold as pineapple Apistos. I don't know if they ever got a scientific name, though. Jake says, I'm obsessed with Ocean Aquarium San Francisco type tanks and now want all my tanks to be super established, dense planted tanks. Bob, do you have any tanks like that right now? Yes. Also, fish room tour. I really don't have a fish room right now. So, yeah. It's being built still, very slowly. What's in the background on the right? Well, this would be my left, so I guess this would be your right. It snowed a lot in the last couple days, so I had to bring out my nice warm hat. True Julii and false Julii trilineatus crossbreed. Yes, they can. This is how I know them by. That is all I know them by. Pineapple apistos. Yeah. I'm not sure if they have a scientific name yet. It's way too warm in here to wear that. I cranked up the heat in the fish room, which is right behind me, to 85. And now it's like radiating over into this room, and it's really warm. If they need a home, let me know. Oh, they're not going anywhere. I paid a pretty penny for them. Actually, it was a pretty good deal, but they're super rare, so I won't be getting. I don't even know how many I have. I think I bought 6, and they're in a 125 paludarium with a crap ton of plants, and I'm hoping that all 6 are in there. I'm actually hoping they've spawned since it's been years, so we'll see. I'm tearing that down. Hopefully Danny's coming over next Wednesday. We might do a live stream together on Wednesday. We don't know, but hopefully if she comes over, she's going to help me tear down the tank. And the deal is, if she helps me, she gets all the plants. But I'm keeping all the fish. Pedro, good to see you. I hope to see you again here one of these days. Ginger, I miss you. So glad the pumps are working for you. I love them too. We have a lot of power outages as well. Yeah, that's what I bought too. Well, you saw the order, so you know, but I wanted the one with the dual outlets, but y'all been sold out for like a year on those. So maybe this weekend I'll see if I can steal one from Corey. I don't even know if he has them. And then Candy also got one of these bad boys. And what's nice is I've been wanting to play with one of these for like years, so we'll see. I don't even know if this will fit on a rim of a 20-gallon. Let's open it and find out. Oh, it's so tiny. Look how small this is. My hand is bigger than this filter. I love it. I probably should have saved this for the video, like I was going to do an unboxing and set it up and all that crap, but oh well, too late now. You know, the one thing I do like about this Phoenix is it comes with its own intake, a sponge filter. Now, the thing I don't like about these is I don't like them when it's not capped on the end. Like, you need to plug that hole, but I understand why they don't. That would be way more in manufacturing. Huh. I don't know. You think that would fit on a rim of a 20? It might not. I don't know why I just snorted. Hopefully the microphone didn't pick that up. I bought 2 separate groups of true Julii. Got 6 true and then 6 trilineatus. Hopefully, I hope you didn't pay true Julii prices on the trilineatus fish. That would be disappointing. Going to keep them separate, not trying to do all that. Yeah. So we've got a couple. That's weird. So I would think like one of these would be an extender to make it longer, but it's not. These are both the same piece. Huh. I wonder why they give you 2 of these. Like, I like it, but that's interesting. I have that nano filter on a 20 long. It's a tight fit, but it does go on. Perfect. That's all I needed to know. And I also like that is that like that's a pretty good amount of room back there for such a small filter. And I will put filter like batting in there, and like I'll use this until I can't anymore. But I like that there's still plenty enough room for me to put some batting in there. Gonna give me the flow I want. Hopefully give me the flow I want. I don't know how powerful it is, but I mean, who really needs to see an like if I make a video on this filter, does anyone really care about the unboxing? Like I don't. Like, hey, you took it out of a box. Congratulations. Anyways. I don't think that's going to fit on a 20 or be enough for a 20 under 10. So I'm not using it to filter candy. I'm using it just for flow. And I don't want a lot of flow, but I want enough to keep the surface moving, which is basically all I'm using it for. So yeah, I'm not using it to actually filter the water, but like I mentioned this earlier, I would much rather, if I need water circulation, I would much rather use a hang on back than a power head. Look for a coupler. Everyone searching the web, is the pineapple pisto the same as a pistogramma? Ooh, it might be. I do recognize that name. No, they look completely different than that. I have a picture of the full grown one on my other phone, but not this phone, unfortunately. That's the snort was heard. Oh no. Oh no. Plus, actually, even if it doesn't fit, I'll just take a Dremel to it. But Jen says I should be able to get it on there, so we'll see. I might have to wrestle it a little bit. Why not an air stone for extra flow? Because it doesn't give me the flow I need. I have a sponge filter in there, which is no different than an air stone. But it's so densely planted that like all the plants are up on the surface, so I need movement on the surface. And the air stone just comes up and bubbles right there in its own little like 4-inch little area right there. You can rebox, we won't tell, but also no, nobody will care. Like I remember like 6 years ago, like unboxing videos were like all the rage on YouTube. I never got it. Zane says, I'm heading home to unbox a baby crested gecko. That sounds pretty awesome. I haven't bought any new reptiles in a long time. I wonder if I can find it. Pistogramma. Yeah, Google doesn't know. Would probably have to get a hold of like Danikin and see if he knows the person that was selling him, because it was a G-Pass club member that was selling the Apistos. What if I do Apistogramma species pineapple? What would be funny if it just ends up being some super common like regular pineapple or regular Apisto. Maybe I'd have to search like aquarium glasser or something like that. I don't know. I'll check one more place. Let's see. Dwarf cichlids, yes. It might be the Abacaxis. I'm fairly confident it might be this one. And I'm like 51%. It might be that one. It's kind of similar. I'd have to go look again. Candy, let me know your opinion. Jen says, I use hang on back for flow as well. If it sits a little high, but it does the job. It has done the job for me. Yeah, like even if it creates like a little splashdown just to break the surface, like that would even be even more beneficial. So the kick heard round the world. Bob, you know you could just use your web browser for your front lighting. It will be less warm in that room. I'd have like one LED light on right in front of me, and it's like that's not what's causing the heat. It's the fish room. I have 0 lights on besides this light right in front of me, and it's just a small little LED light. Oh, we have a link. Let's take a look. Yep, I'm pretty sure that's the one. What's crazy is that's like a $75 fish, and I think we paid like $10 for him. This is why I'm telling you, if you have a local fish club, you need to be going there for their sales and their auctions and their group meetups, because this is a perfect example. This is like a $100 fish, right? Maybe that's a little bit of an exaggeration, but I'm gonna check this website. So that's an auction website, and they're at $75 for a pair. Let's see what this website is at. Here they're $150 a pair on a resale site. And I think we paid maybe like $8 or $9 a piece for them. So I just found some ick white spots on some of my fish. Is it easy to treat? Yes, it is. Get yourself some Ick-X. I actually just wrote a blog article on this. Let me pull it up and link it for you. I can finally link one of my blogs. Let's go to... Oops. Come on. Fish disease, here we go. There you go. Check that out. It's all about Ick-X and how to get rid of ick. And it's very short, easy read. Hopefully easy to understand. Kyle says, Greenwater Aquarist Swap in Tinley Park, Illinois tomorrow. Can't wait. There you go. Always shout out local swaps in the chat. We would all appreciate it, because some people don't know. Like, there might be one tomorrow like 10 minutes away from me, and I never knew about it. I mean, there isn't for me, but for someone else there might be. Have you tried any local botanical stuff like magnolia leaves, oak leaves? I have southern magnolia in the yard. No fertilizers, but I haven't tried them out yet. I've always used almond leaves. I've taken like not botanicals like that, but botanicals like woods, various. I haven't taken like pine cones or anything like that, but in my area, I'm not too worried about it. I also go up in the woods and collect them like way up in the woods. So again, not worried about it there. There are certain areas like you might think you're safe, like you just hiked up 10 miles into the woods and you might think you're safe. But if there's any like mines, like old mines, like a lot of that stuff is really toxic. So like a lot of old gold mines use a lot of nasty stuff back in the day. So it can be toxic. So just watch out for stuff like that if you're going up in the woods. But generally, you're up and far enough away that it's not an issue. Barbara, what's going on? I saw you about an hour ago lurking around on the internet when I was checking to see if anyone else was streaming. Renee says, Greater Houston Aquarium Club meeting on shrimp at 360 Aquatics, which is an Aquarium Co-op affiliate store. Do you have a date? A day and time? Looking for my water. Audrey says, I love buying fish and plants at my Aquarium Society meetings. Yep. March 4th. That's tomorrow. There you go. Can you elaborate more on what stress ick is? I don't think stress ick is not any different than ick. It's all just ick. Fish can get ick when they're stressed out. So that's generally a term to describe how they got it. Like they were stressed out, whether it's cold water, there's another fish bullying them and they're getting stressed. There's many reasons why fish can get stressed out. But it's still ick. Like, and there's different variants of ick, but it's still just ick. Your local ArcGIS database usually has a map of mapped mines. There you go. Magnolia seed pods are great too. Yeah, the Fish Room ABQ was kind enough to send me a package of botanicals. So once I'm up and running, I'll be using those when I'm breeding my cories. Or my loaches. I got some loaches too. Houston Hobby says, I plan on going my first time going to the club. I'm going to be going to my club for the first time in years in June, I believe. Be the first time. I'm sure that'll be interesting. Amazing Pizza. I like that name. It's 21:11 here now. I have to pick some up in the morning. It's 21:11. What is that? 9:11? 9:11. Rocky Miles, what's going on? Says listening at work. All right, what else we got going on here? Yep, the species Abacaxis is a Pistogramma wilhelmi. Low pH and KH for successful breeding. Alder cones and oak leaf extract might help if having problems for eggs to develop. There we go. Ocean Aquarium uses deep sand beds, light stocking of nanofish. Tells people to only feed 4 times a week, lightest 12 hours a day. Any spectrum. I don't know. I'd have a hard time believing a retail store lightly stocks their tanks. Especially when you get a discount for buying in bulk. That seems weird. Wish San Antonio had a club or fish swaps. They don't. I feel like that's a city big enough to have a fish swap. I don't know. Steve said, sadly, I lost a loach, but since then, I've begun to notice a bunch of really cool tiny snails. They're flat, almost clear, and kind of resemble a ram's horn. I can't seem to find any info on them. I wonder... They could just be... No. I don't know. That's interesting. You're going to work with those dwarf chain loaches? They are working for me right now in getting rid of my snails, and they're doing a terrible job at it. I think I feed the tank too much, and they're not going after the snails, but I also have 3 species of cories in the tank that they're in, so I do have to feed a lot. But we'll see. Hopefully they catch on and they start eating snails. I haven't seen a single empty snail shell yet. The people are 1,000 times better here, but the nature and weather sucks. Yeah, I mean, you could pretty much say that about anywhere. That the people are going to be 1,000 times better than Seattle. Oh my gosh. That's what he tells. Oh, that's what he tells customers to do. Okay, well that makes way more sense then. They are pretty lightly loaded. It's the classic Ma and Pa LFS. Really nice folks. Otter says, I think I just found planaria in one of my snail shrimp breeding tanks. Anyone ever use no planaria problem? Will it kill snails? I've never used it. Kenny says, I would agree with that. I grew up in Texas. I love Washington. The people are strange, though. It's all concentrated to Seattle, though. Like, you go to eastern Washington, northern, southern. Well, not so much northern. But, yeah. They're weirdos. Seattle is a hellhole for sure. Aquarium Club of Lancaster County Swap. Oh, wait, I lost it. March 25th, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. at That Fish Place in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. There we go. I got Erie Aram no Aramnopaigi, whatever. Apistos from Glasser, Germany, a month ago. First batch of fry swimming with the male females in a planted 20-gallon now. That's awesome. I'm never going to be able to pronounce that Episto, but people are strange when you're a stranger. I don't know. I've lived here all my life, and people were not this strange 20 years ago, even 10, 15 years ago. People now are just off their marbles in Seattle. Throw some baby guppies in to eat the planaria. Keep it Natty Nation. What is Natty Nation? I don't know what that is. 3G says, my scarlet batis love planaria. Yeah, most fish should eat it, but I understand if it's just a snail and shrimp tank, then yeah, you might have some problems there. Rocky Mile says, with 6 harlequin, 6 neons. Okay, let's try this again. 6 harlequin rasboras, 6 neon tetras, 5 gold tetras, 4 priscilla tetras, and 4 pencil fish be overstocked in a 20. I feel like it would be. I'm wanting to merge my 10 gallon to clear it for a betta. I think the problem with that stocking is that they all occupy pretty much the same space. Probably not. I mean, honestly, probably not overstocked, but it might be a little busy. That was okay, Bob. It's a mess trying to pronounce all these names. Pancure C is shrimp safe, and it's 0.1 for 10 gallons. Snail and shrimp tank for my puffers. Interesting. Greg Jones says, NEC Mega Fish Auction in Connecticut, March 12th. I'll be there. All right. Boy, if Connecticut can have a fish group, surely San Antonio can. Jennifer Weaver, hello, says, my abacaxis spawned in a pH of 6.5 and medium hardness. As Mickham told me, clean water. I mean, that's basically the secret to breeding almost all fish. Sure, there's fish that like high pH, there's fish that like low pH, but clean water. I mean, look at Dan's fish. He's got like liquid rock, but it's constant daily fresh water. And he's got gobies spawning, cories spawning, everything spawning. So, I mean, if that doesn't tell you how important clean water is to spawning, I don't know what would. I mean, there's fish that have, on paper, no business spawning in Dan's water, but they're spawning. 7th largest city in the USA. Interesting. I would have never guessed that. San Antonio, huh? All right. The only thing I really know about San Antonio is David Robinson in the Twin Towers. San Antonio Spurs reference there, not Twin Towers of New York. I have a Cubitai rasbora, which is the neon green rasbora. Full of eggs right now. I highly doubt I'll see fry, but still exciting for me. Nothing else is trying to make babies in my tank. You might have a few survive. You never know. It could happen. Matt Gray says, nobody called to tell me about this. Yeah. I mean, I posted. I posted. But, yeah, notifications aren't that great. Are twig catfish okay with being with a pleco? Most of the time, yes. That's a pretty generalized statement, as there are hundreds of types of plecos, including twig catfish are plecos. Most of the time, they're going to be just fine. Dan's fish gives me hope for spawning some South American cichlids. Yeah. I mean, a lot of the common apistos will spawn in high pH water. Kyron says, I like to take weekend trips through Aurora Street past Seattle. Hopefully you're not going there for the reason that other people go there. Like, I mean, that's the red light district, and you'll certainly see a lot of interesting things there, but oh man, that place is interesting. Aurora Avenue. Whew. Don't want to be there when the lights go off. Candy says that is an interesting street. Yeah, that's there's a couple YouTube channels that just film driving up and down that street, and they get like millions of views. It's ridiculous. It's yikes. Dave Schwimmer from Dave's Rare Fish is located in San Antonio. That is true. That is true. Not Dave Schwimmer. Dave Schumacher. You see a lot. Yeah, I don't know how they get away with... I mean, I don't know how they get away with not getting indecent... I mean, first of all, I know because it's Seattle. Like, indecent exposure does not exist in Seattle. But still, it's amazing what they don't wear on that street. I took the underground tour in Seattle. It was kind of interesting and kind of boring. Yeah, all the good stuff they don't show you. Audrey, I'll be making the trip down for April meeting. Audra, not Audrey. Did I say Audrey? I don't know. Jeez. Man. Candy says, I was shocked. Not a place to take Caleb. That's for sure. Oh, man. I used to work for a company that has a location on that street. And the parking lot for the company I work for is on the roof. So you drive up around on the roof and then you go down into the store. Well, on the roof is where all the streetwalkers, I guess, took their johns, and it was not a fun place to go. Luckily, I didn't work at that location, but you would have to go there to pick up stuff or for meetings and stuff, and I was just like, ugh. I feel like I got AIDS just parking in that parking lot. It's like bird watching. You guys in Seattle are San Francisco light. It wasn't so bad. Oh, yeah. Well, isn't it like... Anyways. We should probably get this back to fish because this could go south really fast. Mikum says, getting them to spawn often works okay. It's the development of eggs which seems to fail. Unfortunately has with me. Well, hey, I mean, that's the world we live in. That's the real world. So he's got to see it eventually. As long as he's not seeing it all the time. Ever get so frustrated and mad at a fish that you hope it jumps out of a tank one day? No. No. I've never wished suicide on any of my fish. UPS are living the dream with a $5 super chat. Says, thanks for streaming today. No problemo. I was going to do it yesterday at noon, and then I got sidetracked by something. I don't remember what. I don't know. So I did today at noon. Ish. Underground Chicago would be dope with the mob. I mean, almost every city has underground. Like, there's a word for it that I don't remember. Like the sediment that builds up. I don't know, but like every city has underground stuff, I guess. Amissa says, so looking forward to the Findig. Dr. Anthony said he's heading up for the April meeting. What's the Findig? Is that the one in Sacramento? Findig. Google doesn't know what the Findig is. I don't remember either. I don't remember. Someone will tell me. Hello, Bob. My pygmy cories float around in my tank, and I've never seen them to I never seem to industriously feed. And never seem to industriously feed like my other cories. that hunt all the time. Oh no, there's lots of species of cories that just hover mid-water. Pygmaeus do it. My flagtails do it. I forget the scientific name offhand right now, but there's lots of species that just hover in the air, like in the middle of the water column. It's pretty neat to see, but they are feeding for sure. They're definitely feeding. They're getting food. Nothing like New York City underground. We have 10 million rats. We're getting close to that in Seattle. Like, you walk down the street in Seattle and the rats are just everywhere. It's like the parting of the Red Sea as you walk past them. It's gross. At least yours are underground. Ours are in the street. It's disgusting. Hey, Bob, have you ever had planaria kill pygmy cories? No, I was losing one a week or so until I killed the planaria. Now I have no more losses, and the cories are much more alive. I mean, technically it's possible they could be killing it, but realistically they should be eating. They should be eating it. I kick at least one rat a day. Is that like a goal? Sacramento Aquarium Society Findig, June 3rd and 4th. That's right. Yeah, that's the one I'm trying to go to. But I'll check again right now. Like, I've got notifications for if airfare ever comes down, but so far I'm priced out of going. Seattle to Sacramento. July. Or is it June? June. Okay, June. Oh, you son of a gun. June. Here we go. And let's see. Well, it has come down a little bit. All right. Try this other airport that I'm by. Non-stop. All right. It has come down a little bit. 350 a round trip, which may not seem like a lot, but this used to be $150 round trip airfare to go to basically anywhere in California. All right, well, hopefully it keeps trending down. Have to keep an eye on that. No, minimize. Can I have a breeding trio of zebra plecos for free, please? And thank you. Yeah, if you can find someone that'll give them to you for free, good luck. Tuger says, last time I was in Seattle was 2006. Had some liberty after some training in Yakima. The city was weird, but pretty cool. Can't imagine what it looks like now. Well, Yakima is pretty far from Seattle. That's like a 3-hour drive. And Yakima is completely different than Seattle. I don't know, maybe you came to Seattle and then drove to Yakima. Seattle now compared to 2006 is so different. Like, all the businesses are shutting down. I think even Nike is shutting down their store, which has been like a staple on the main drag there for decades. And even they're like, it's too dangerous, we're closing. Starbucks is closing down all their stores. Like, literally everyone is closing down their stores in Seattle. I'll be filming at the Findig either way. Sweet. Robin, yes, thank you, Alex. Alex knows my fish better than I do. But yeah, my Corydora is Robin. They do that hover. They're always hovering. Matter of fact, Danny was here a couple days ago. And I was like, well, check out these cories, and they were hovering. And she was like, oh my God, they're hovering. That's so cool. I'm like, yeah, they do that. Where were the campgrounds you guys stayed at in the past? One of them was on the beach. I don't know offhand. Like, I've never been to them before, and I haven't been back, so I don't. One was at Wenatchee Lake. Okay, that's the one I know, Wenatchee Lake. I don't remember the one on the beach, and I don't remember the one on the island we stayed at. Wenatchee Beach, Wenatchee Lake, I believe, is where we stayed when it was in the snow. Yakima was kind of sad last time I was there, but it was in the mid-90s. Pretty area, though. Yeah, it is a nice area. I mean, they got a Walmart, so, you know. Yakima was an armpit. Hitched a ride to Seattle to kill a weekend. Well, Yakima is way nicer than Seattle now, so let that sink in. I went to the Space Needle grand opening when I was a kid. That might date me. Oh, that's pretty awesome. I haven't been to the Space Needle since '98. Will brown moss make the water quality bad? Got a bunch that's not doing great in a dwarf crayfish tank. Thinking of taking it out and putting in new moss. So brown moss can. I mean, it's decaying plant matter, right? So it can do a few things. One, it could just not look good. But two, it could also start lowering the pH of your water as the plants start to decay, as that plant matter starts to decay and die off. Greg Jones says, I got 460 breeders yesterday. I think my wife will notice the new tank rack. Isn't your fish room pretty decent sized? Like, I'm trying to remember. But I feel like you have a lot of stuff going on in your fish room, and maybe she won't, if I remember correctly. We call Yakima Crackama. Bare Bottoms Aquarium says, not at this point. Yeah, I feel like you're at that point where it's probably not noticeable. We should plan a meetup for Steenfotters at the Findig. I mean, honestly, if this gets down to relatively maybe like 250, I might have to seriously start thinking about buying. It's at 350 right now. If it gets down to 250, like I think that's my price point. It's still gonna kill me, seeing how it used to only be like 100. Sometimes you could get round trips for $100 to California. Those days are long gone. The Space Needle was cool, but don't eat there. The restaurant was expensive and not great. Just enjoy. See, I thought my steak was really good. I took my girlfriend to the Space Needle. This is the last time I've been there. It was in '98. But back then, like, I think it was like $60 for both of us to have like this gourmet meal. So I'm sure it's way more expensive now. But I thought the steak was really good back then. Obviously, you know, it's been 20 plus years, so don't listen to my review because it's definitely not going to be the same. Dave says, hi peeps, buried at work and just realized there was a stream. Thanks, Dave. I hope it's your Friday. I hope it's actually Friday and your Friday. I remember taking the Greyhound to Seattle for $49. That must take forever. I'd send you some plans for free if you want to do an unboxing. Win-win for both of us. I don't do unboxings anymore. Like, they just don't do well. So it's really not a win for anyone. Yeah. I want a 4-foot tank, but no room for now without stacking. How much room do you all recommend if I stack display tanks? The thing you got to think about, Matt, is getting hardscape in and out. I would say like 12, maybe like 10 inches of space would be like the minimum. But then like larger pieces of wood could start to become a problem. Like obviously if they're just long and flat, you know, round, not a big deal. But if you start getting like these intricate pieces of large wood for aquascaping, then that could become a problem getting it in and out when you only have like 10 inches of space to work with. So I got a new to me completely set up 40 breeder a month ago, and it's my new favorite size. It is a good size. I've stocked it with cherry barbs, emerald rasboras, celestial pearl danios, flame tetras, neon tetras, and diamond tetras. Whew, Nathan, that's a lot, and he loves it. I agree. 21 hours, not too bad when you're 18 and broke. Yeah, I could probably do that when I was 18. Now I have no desire to sit on a bus for 21 hours. Maybe a train. A train could be fun, but even then, I think that's still going to take too long. Hardscaping is a good point. Thanks. I learned that the hard way. That's the only reason I know. In my garage fish room at my last house, like I made it very, Like, I just wasn't thinking, and so I had like 6 inches to work with. Maybe it was 8, but it was horrible. Mrs. says, Nathan sounds amazing. I really want some diamonds at some point. They're very underrated. Very, very underrated. In 98, San Francisco was still decent. Yeah, I went in 92, 93, I think, is when I was in San Francisco, and I thought it was awesome. But I really don't have any desire to go there now. If I want to go to San Francisco, I could just go to Seattle if I want to see that. It's a pain. Candy swearing in the stream says it's a pain in the ass to do water changes and maintenance too. Ask me how I know. Whew. Dave says, hi, Candy. Thanks again for all your help this week. Well, except for making me smell the Fritz Zyme multiple times. She was just trolling you. She knew. She messaged me, and she was like, watch this. I'm going to make Dave put his nose in this stuff over and over and over. That's kind of funny. Weirdly, the train is usually more expensive than flying, at least when I looked into it a few years ago. All right. What, do you just go to like Amtrak? Are they still a thing? Maybe? There's no website, Amtrak.com. That's kind of crazy. Is Amtrak still around? Amtrak. Well, why does this? Now it comes up. All right. Okay. From Seattle to Sacramento. Depart date June. We'll go June 2nd. Return date we'll do the 5th. Wait, that didn't work. June 2nd. Return date June 5th. Find trains. Let's see how much this is. $125, and it's 20 hours and 38 minutes. Whew, that's brutal. Like, I guess that's cheaper than driving. At least it would be for me, because I get like 10 miles to the gallon. Coach 125. A room is 450. What do you get in a room? First class accommodations, access to private restrooms, and shower in your car. All right. You get a shower on the train. I don't know. Like, I feel more safe in an airplane than I do in a train, I feel like. Is that one way? Oh, that's a good question. I'm just going to pick coach for 125. Okay. Add to cart. Upper level, apparently. Oh, that was just one way. Holy smokes. Yeah, you were right. This is more expensive than airfare. Wait, maybe not. Maybe not. No bicycles. Calm down. No pets. Just give me a price. $209 round trip. For the cheap seat. Yeah, that's not worth it. 20 hours each way. Oof. The nice thing with Amtrak is the ability to walk around and meet people. I don't know that I like people enough to go around and, yeah, I don't know. Not my thing. Just I'm kind of just like, leave me alone. Don't talk to me. Plus extra serious time for taking a train, though I did enjoy the scenic West Coast train route back in the day. I mean, that would be fun. There is a train that goes around, a scenic train that goes around like the Cascades through the mountains and everything. Like, that would be kind of fun. Safety on a train all depends if you're... Yeah, you guys had like an issue down there in Texas too, not too long ago. My brother used to take the train from Eugene. A plane is cheaper and faster. Just got to get to the airport. Yeah. Well, luckily they just opened up a new airport by me not too long ago. And it's not that bad. I like, going to SeaTac to go to California was always a pain in the butt. But now I don't have to go through Seattle to go to California. But it is like $100 more. So SeaTac is cheaper, but it's a pain. I do not like SeaTac at all. Anyways, Amtrak pricing is one way too. That's crazy. Oh, I want to do that. That would definitely be beautiful through the Cascades. Yeah. What? I can't remember the name of the company, but you should be able to find it. It's pretty expensive though. Paul says I don't like traveling by train. I don't know that I've ever been in a train, to be honest. Kyron says, did a water change in my goldfish tank yesterday with the python hose. Couldn't figure out why the flow was slow when trying to fill it back up. I look over and one of them swam up the tube, but he survived. Wow. Gotta watch for that. I'd be lying if I said that never happened to me. I have definitely had my attention elsewhere and sucked up a fish or two. It happens. But hopefully he's all right. Marion says that's not a selling point for Bob. That's certainly not. Yeah, I definitely don't want to walk around and meet people if these people are from Seattle and San Francisco. No offense, but, take offense if you want. I think there's definitely good people in these cities, but I feel like odds are most of them are not. You're missing out if you've never been on a train before. Yeah, I mean, I feel like it would be something for fun, or kind of fun, but it's something I would want to do on like a scenic thing, not on like I'm getting on this train to go through the Cascades and look at all the waterfalls and the mountains and wildlife. Not something I don't want to get on a train and go to Sacramento, I guess. Marion says sometimes goldfish are adventurous and lucky. Just a little wound. All right. Should be able to recover from that. We've all been there, though. Just a little wound. All right, folks. I'm going to call it here. So my longfin super red spawned a few days ago. They're the first spawn. There are 80 fry. Is that a good number for I've never heard of a spawn of 80 in bristlenose pleco. So yeah, I would say that is good. I took a train from Detroit to New Orleans when I was 18 to go to Mardi Gras with my friend. It was an amazing way to travel. See, now, like, if I'm on a train, if I'm 18, on a train with friends, partying, going to Mardi Gras, like, that sounds like a fun time. But getting on a train by myself, going to Sacramento and back on 20 hours each way does not sound like fun. But anyways, thanks everyone for coming and hanging out on this makeup stream. I appreciate it, even with no notice. So thanks for hanging out. We'll be back Monday, regular time. I'll try to fit in a member stream sometime this weekend, maybe tonight. We'll see how it goes. But if not, I will see all the members on Monday as well as normal. And thanks everyone. I appreciate it again, and I hope you have a great weekend. Right? I don't know. If you don't have a great weekend, make it a great weekend. It is up to you if you have a great weekend or not. Nobody else. It's your responsibility to have a great weekend. So make it a great weekend. Right, dogs? Right.